Millennial Entrepreneurs on the Rise. For our very first episode, we will be featuring Jordan Williams, handcrafted designer, public speaker, entrepreneur, and owner of Keith Cravat, located in Kansas City, Missouri.
Welcome to Millennial Entrepreneurs on the Rise. I'm your host, Kendall Myers, and today for our first guest, we have entrepreneur Jordan Williams.
Yo, what's good? What's good, man? Thanks for having me on.
Hey. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Another day, another dollar type attitude, right?
Okay. I understand. Well, shoot, man, let's go ahead and kick this off, man.
Doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, man. Working hard, trying to get this vlog off the ground, and happy to have you as my first guest, man. Thank you.
No, thank you, man. I'm excited. I'm honored to be a part of it.
Most def. Well, let's get started, man. First off, Jordan, tell us about yourself. What do you do?
Man, I'm a designer. I'm a creator. I'm an influencer. I'm a power book. Pretty much everything God is calling me to be. But to be more intentional about it in this interview, I'm Keith Cravat. I'm the owner of Keith Cravat, which is a bow tie company I founded about 5 years ago. And I've been doing that and working on tons of different projects for quite some time now. But my end goal is to make men look good, feel good, and do good.
Okay. So what's interesting to me is what exactly did Keith Cravat derive from? Like, where did you get that name from? That's very interesting to me.
So Keith Cravat, it actually has a really deep meaning to me. Keith means noble, gentle, lovable, and handsome, and then cravat means neckwear. So essentially the company is about a man who's tying together his nobility, his handsomeness, his gentleness when he puts on a bow tie by Keith Cravat. And the acronyms of Keith Cravat is KC, which is where I'm from. Shout out to Kansas City.
Yeah.
I love KC all day. But yeah, so that's where it came from. It was like a reflection of what I saw it becoming, creating a household fashion name. And so I took it very serious when I got started.
Oh, man, that's awesome, man. And it's funny, you from Kansas City. I'm from Kansas City. We know each other because we went to high school together. What high school did you go to again?
Shout out to Ruskin High School. Yeah.
So I couldn't. So I said, you say your high school because I couldn't claim it because I didn't graduate from it. So I'm not going to say that I only went to Ruskin for 1 year. But me, I'm a proud Raytown South
Cardinal. That's
I'm a proud Raytown South Cardinal. So go Cardinals. But no, man. But it's crazy though. Both of us are from Kansas City. What you say?
I said I'm glad you're proud to be where you're from.
No, man, but on a serious note, though, man, it's just awesome for us to be from similar backgrounds as far as coming from Kansas City, and we're both out here, living our dreams. We're both out here striving. We're both out here, being entrepreneurs and doing our thing, man. It's just good to know that I'm someone from my neighborhood, from my growing up, is doing good things. Is out here doing great things for everyone to see that, man. Just want to let you know that.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Most definitely, man. So yeah, man, I want to get into some deep questions. I want to know about your journey. So let's get into it. When did you feel certain that that this fashion designer thing was for you?
Certain. I don't necessarily feel like I was ever certain until I fell in love with Christ. Before that, I was really confused. I was distracted. I was just trying to understand the requirements that it takes to build a business. And so it was really difficult for me in the first 2 years of my business. I celebrated 5 years back in March of 2018. And so I want to say I wasn't sure of myself until 2016, which was 2 years ago. The first 2-3 years were very difficult. It was very challenging. I knew I had a gift. I knew I had vision. I knew I had the ability to kind of do whatever I put my mind to. And so I wasn't certain until about 2016. I had just fell in love with Christ back in 2015. And so I had this clear vision because when I started the company, I had ideas, I had an understanding of what I wanted to do. I just didn't have a clear direction. And so when you lack direction or you lack I guess an exit plan, it can be very difficult. It's like you take a lot of detours. So I wasn't certain until maybe like 2 years into the business, which is, I have a very unconventional route I'm taking in my business, but it's working out for me,
Man, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I think a lot of times, people question, is this right for me? Am I going the right route? You know what I'm saying? But for you to find certainty at an early stage, in your life, I think that's awesome. I think that's something that not a lot of people have tapped into yet. So it's awesome to hear that, my man.
Right.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely I'm inspired by that. Like I said, because I still don't feel like I'm certain in exactly what I should be doing, but I feel like I'm going down the right path. And I feel like that's important that that you're at least going down the right path.
Right. That's good. Well, good, man. I'm glad that that was some honesty right there.
Now, man, we got to be 100% truthful. I want people to understand that, what I'm saying? I'm right where a lot of people are right now. Like, what I'm saying? There are a lot of people who are striving to do different things, who are striving to be entrepreneurs, who are striving to do things. And we're at a point where we're on the breaking point. We're fed up. We're trying to do something. We're trying to break the norms that have been set for us. And growing up, we're trying to break that, man. So I feel like right now it's do or die. That's where I'm at. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been there. I'm pretty sure you have been there also.
Absolutely.
Most definitely, my man. Well, my next question is, I wanted to know is, who inspires you? What is your why?
Yeah, I love that question, man. Every time I get asked that, I get to think about my legacy, which is my why. I believe that there was ancestors in place before me. I believe that people in my family have been developing way before I became a part of this plan that's been going on. So for me, I think of it in terms of my legacy, all the people in the past that's paved the way for me, that brought me to this moment. And then I think about the future. I think about the family that I'm going to create one day, and how are they going to carry out what I'm doing in this season of my life. Really tying it to that legacy piece has been something that keeps me driving and pushing forward, because things change all the time. Your business ideas change, but I think one thing that remains constant is family, your principles, values, your morals. And so I really stick to that and hone in my why with the reflection in mind of my family, and what's been done for years before I became who I am, and what's to come years after I leave this earth. So yeah, man, my why is tied in my legacy.
That's so deep. Legacy, that is so deep to me. Even I think about legacy, even my life. I think about the life that I want to set forth for my kids and for my grandchildren. I'm building this empire, this motivational empire for them. I'm saying? This is something that I want them to be able to benefit from. I want them to be able to step into their purpose if this is their calling. It's just options. It's giving them options. It's giving them freedom. It's giving them options to choose what type of niche they want to get into.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I echo your thoughts on that. That's real. That's real.
Wild card question. You ready?
I hope so as well.
Do you think college education is still valuable?
That's a good question. I do believe. The reason I say that is because I work with the youth, and I get asked that question a lot from my teenagers, because this new generation that's coming up, man, they have endless possibilities, it seems like. And so a lot of them are very, very wise too, very, very intelligent individuals. And you'd be like, wow, maybe you shouldn't go to school. So what I tell them is what one of my distant mentors told me, which was Miles Monroe. Shout out to him. He's incredible. If you don't know him, look him up on YouTube. He mentioned in a interview, or I think it was one of his sermons, he mentioned you should never go to school for a degree. that you are passionate about, but you should go to school for a degree that can be your job. So in other words, you should just go to college to learn something that can give you money to fund your passion. So say, for instance, someone wants to be a singer one day, or someone wants to be a bow tie designer. You don't necessarily have to go to school to get a education for it, but you can go. Well, let me just say this and be clear and specify. You do need to go to school if you like want to be a doctor, right? If you want to be if you want to be a surgeon, you might want to take yourself to college so you can get the proper education before you go into a doctor's office and start cutting open people. I do think that it's certain areas that you need education just so you can apply the understanding, I guess you will. But I feel like, God definitely calls people to, unqualified positions, if you will. So I think it's really important to determine and decipher what requires an education and what really don't require one. Does it make sense, man?
Oh yeah, most definitely it makes sense. If your profession is going to be a doctor, like I said, a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, it's required that you get a college education. So we understand that. But if you're trying to become an entrepreneur or a rap artist or artist, a graphic, someone who does artistry, college degree might not serve you as well. I mean, it just really might not, because your skills and your talent has nothing to do with the systematic way of doing things. You're someone who kind of works as they want to work. You work as you please. You work the hours that you want. I have a college degree, from Langston University, LU Lions. And I'm proud that I went and that I graduated with my undergraduate degree. But do I feel that it's valuable, or was it valuable to me as far as me being an entrepreneur? Yes and no. Yes and no. And I say yes because of it got my mind transformed to the way business works in corporate and in the workforce. That's important. I got a little bit of that understanding. But as far as me doing my own thing, starting a business from scratch, systems and things like that, no. There's no way I learned anything about that. My degrees served me where they served me because I planned it out that way. God bless me. God blessed me with that, and I appreciate him for that, for guiding me on that route. But college education definitely needs a transformation right now. I'm just being straight up serious about it. It's not serving these graduates well. They're not getting jobs. They're in debt. I'm talking about debt over heels. And I'm one of those students too. I mean, I'm still paying off my debt now, and I'm grateful that I'm able to pay it off. End of the day, it's not about that. It's about the fact that you get started chasing your dreams or thinking that something's there, but it's not there. It's an illusion. And that's what I feel like college can create for a lot of us. It can, and you can really fall behind if you don't stay on your toes. You have to be alert. You have to have a plan. But is college valuable? I'll leave that up for everyone to debate about.
Yeah. And so, like, with my college experience, man, I had went to school 4 different times. I went to a college out in Florida. I went to a college in Longview, in Kansas City. Went to community college. Then I went to school in Chicago at Columbia College to study photography, man. And so I've tried the college thing. It's really not for me. And I don't think that college is for everyone, but I do think those who can go and get a degree, because I feel like the only thing that I think college do teach you, and you hit on it, is just teaches you discipline. It just teaches you how to take care of a task, make sure you get the deadline, and it just proves to your potential employer that you are disciplined, that you can be committed to something for longer than 60 days, longer than a year, and you will be successful with it if someone gave you an opportunity. I think that's the biggest takeaway for college degree. And so for me, stepping into entrepreneurship and, becoming disciplined in my own business, like you said, coming up with my own way of thinking, man, that's a lot. So I think that's what we're learning through these things. If you are entrepreneurs, don't you learn a disciplinary action? Same with school. You just become very disciplined.
I definitely agree with you, bro. And like I said, we see eye to eye with that, from you understanding that, college didn't serve you in the way that you thought it would. But at the end of the day, you stepped back and you created a plan and you followed through, and look at where you are now. So, I have another deep question that I want to ask you. And what are some things that you've been through that you would consider hardships that you've overcome?
Oh man, I'm always going through a hardship. You want a new one or you want an old one?
Whatever you would like to tell the world, man, go ahead.
I think a hardship that I've experienced is, man, that's a really good question. I think the first year in business, I was very self-egotistical, man. I would say, I think the biggest hardship is identity, right? And so it's been such a battle, and I still struggle with it from time to time because, you have so much on your mind in entrepreneurship that you kind of forget. So sometimes you need a reminder, which is why I have accountability partners. Thank God for them. But identity, you can get so caught up into what you do that you begin to think that is who you are. And so I really have had a hard time of being set apart from Keith Cravat because I am a businessman. I am Jordan. And I can sometimes think that because I'm Keith Cravat, that's all I do and that's all I am. And so I think it's really important for me at the time was really just coming more clear of who I am in myself and what God is really calling me to be. And so I think the biggest hardship is just being a constant reminder that I am set apart from Keith Cravat. Keith Cravat is just what I do. It's something that I created to, allow me to have income and create opportunities for other people, men and specifically that lack confidence, that lack, boldness. And I create this beautiful custom design for them that gives them this sense of confidence. So I have to be mindful that even though I'm in purpose, that even though I'm living intentional, I can't allow this to become my God. And I experienced that for a season in my life, a couple seasons, actually, man, for maybe like 2 years. I was very Keith Cravat was I just served it. It was like my master. It was like my Lord. And I really had a difficult time just trying to decipher through that and trying to really separate myself. And people will always tell me, yo, Jordan, you got to wear a bow tie everywhere you go. You're a walking billboard and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. But I don't wear bow ties every day. I really don't. Only reason I got one on today is because I had some client meetings. I got to sell it, right? Sell it. But if I'm out, it's just a Sunday, or if it's just a day and I don't want to wear it, I ain't going to wear it. You know what I mean? And that was really difficult for me because people kept telling me what to do, man, and I kept listening to them. And so I had set out back in I think it was fall of 2014. I said to myself, I will no longer be the face of my brand. Because what happens is when you become the face of your brand, your ego gets boosted up times 10. It really do. And so I became very intentional when I realized that this business was serving me and not my clients, which is that's an issue. And I didn't even know it was happening until hindsight. And I was dealing with all these issues. I'm like, yo, people really, people were treating me a certain way. And it was going to my head. As a man, we already got big egos, bro. And so it was really hard for me to just say, okay, let me detach myself from this. Let me not fall in love with how they're treating me and how this much respect I get from people. And it was all fake anyway. It wasn't real and genuine. And so realizing that I don't want to feed my ego no more. I don't want to feed my self-righteousness anymore. And that was hard. It really was to detach from it. And so I had declared back in the fall of 2014 that I would no longer identify with my brand. I want Keith Cravat to have his own identity, and I want to be apart from that. And so, man, now when I'm out and I meet people, they don't necessarily know it's me behind the business. And so when I say I'm Jordan, I own Keith Cravat, they're like, yo, that's you? Man, I find that to be gratifying because it's at first it was reversed. It was like, oh, that's the bow tie guy. But the moment that they found out it was me, then they got to see that that's the company, right? That's Keith Cravat, and then that's him. Right. And so long it was backwards, and I didn't like the way that was fueling me, you know. And so I decided, man, to let that go. And that was really hard. That was hard to kill that pride, to kill my ego, to kill this mentality that had been feeding me. So I think that was the biggest hardship, realizing that I need to be apart from Keith Cravat. I need my own identity, man. I think that was a big hardship, and I still challenge with it, you know, because I'm the bow tie guy, you know. I still wrestle with it, like, yeah, and you know, and this company came from the dirt, you know, like Keith Cravat literally came from the dirt. And so when you think about, the mud, and when you build something, you can really become big-headed. You can really be like, yo, if it wasn't for me, this would never happen. But then you got to stop and think that it's been God all along. And so realizing that Keith Cravat is just one platform, one out of many platforms he's going to show to me and reveal to me, that he's going to use me for the glory of his people, you know. And so that in itself has been rewarding, to see the end result or the desired outcome that is bigger than just my ego, is bigger than just my pride. And so really seeing that, man, has been a blessing to me. So I think that's been a hardship, but I'm thankful for it, you know. Was that a good one?
Hey, that was deep, man. No, like seriously though, like that was really deep. And you know, one thing I can attest to is God is good.
Amen. He better be.
Like, you know, yeah. I mean, most definitely, my man. And I feel like you can't lose. You can't lose when you put him first. You can't lose when you got him in your life. Yeah. You can't lose when he's steering the wheel. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You know, it's no worries at the end of the day. You know, all we have to do is put the action and have that faith. Put the action, add the faith, things start to happen. But I'm telling you, you know, God is definitely the way. And I know you can attest to that, Jay. Yeah. Okay, my man. So, you know, now I want to get into what are some tips and advice that you can give to aspiring entrepreneurs?
Some tips and advice, man. There's so many tips. Accountability. I think it's really important to have accountability partners in select areas. I think that, you know, you need an accountability partner in business development. You need an accountability partner when it comes to your finances, your accounting, your taxes. You need an accountability partner when it comes to your spiritual development. I think it needs to be accountability in just every area of your business model, you know, and just kind of having somebody walk you through that and kind of support you, kind of like correct you. I think that's really important in entrepreneurship. Another thing too is just identifying what works for you. You know, a lot of people try to mimic what they see because we live in such a time where all we do is what the monkey is doing. And we have to become individualized in that area, right? I do believe in collaboration, but I think that self-identity through Christ, whatever you believe in, whoever's watching this, my hope is that it's Christ. But whatever you believe in, you need that identity to be self-aware of how you should respond to whatever it is that's on your heart or your mind. So I think just having that that idea that you don't have to mimic what you see. What works for you works for you. Like, and I'll give you an example. Like, I know for a long time I was trying to start my day at 5 o'clock, you know, just like every entrepreneur. You read about it, you go on YouTube, you can watch a video on what every entrepreneur do, right? It tells you to start your day at 5 o'clock, go to the gym, you know, meditate, you know, get into the habits, all these things. And so I was reading it and I was doing it, but it wasn't working for me. And what I found to be is that I have to do it throughout my day versus doing it in a certain area, certain time of day. So for me, when it comes to meditation and breathing, oh my God, that's another tip. When you are going through it, if you breathe out 10 seconds, amen. That's awesome. But I would say just figuring out what works for you, because for me, I realized that the meditation and the praying had to come through me throughout the day. It couldn't just be in the morning. I have to pray before I go into meetings. I prayed before we got on this call. That's why I said I'm gonna call you back. I gotta pray. Every to acknowledge God or to acknowledge myself in a way that reflects my relationship with Christ, I do it, man. I pray in meetings, you know what I mean? Like if I'm sitting in a meeting and I feel like my client ain't right, I'm going to be like, you want to pray, man? You good? Like I've just learned what works for me, you know, and I try not to mimic what I see because we have all these great examples. We really do. And I pay respect to those people. But I think as we continue to grow in this world we live in, it's really important to become very aware of what works for you. Yeah, man, accountability and yeah, man, and people. We need the right people in our community, man. Just somebody to help you build your business, you know? Like I think the biggest challenge I have, people ask me, what is the biggest challenge in Kansas City for you as a business owner? And I think the biggest challenge is the right people. And investing in the right people. I don't feel like Kansas City has the right people for me right now. And I think that it's coming to that, though. A lot of people are moving to Kansas City that's not from here. I think that it just requires the right people to help you with your plan and your vision, you know. And when you see those people, man, I just encourage you to hold on to them because, you know, it's just like a diamond in the rough. Like it's very, very rare to find good people that can come in and build your business up with you, you know, without any intentions of ill will, without any hidden agendas, people that genuinely want to be a part of something that they don't mind building. Because, I mean, that's the thing. Like I'm not in the mud anymore. You know, I got some weeds in my grass, you know, whatever. But I just think it's important to have the right people around you. I just think it's important to really hone in on who you are, becoming aware of what you do and how you're doing it, because we all have one goal, and that is to ultimately change the world. But I think we got to find out creative ways to do it and innovative and very, very unique ways to do it. Can't do what everybody else is doing. Just can't. It wouldn't be right.
Most definitely. Got to be different, and you got to check your circles. You feel what I'm saying? You got to your circle needs to be people who are, you know, influencing you in the right way, who are pushing you, who are motivating you, who are inspiring you, who are lifting you up when you're down, who are the light to your darkness. You need those type of people in your circle, not people that are draining you. You don't want to be around a group of people that drain you. They will pull your energy. They will use your energy so that they feel good, because that's how miserable they are.
Lisa Nichols, I don't know if you know her. She's another one of my distant mentors. She said that you must lead one circle and follow another circle. And those words have stuck with me. So I'm very intentional about leading a circle, right? People that not necessarily on my level, if you will, but they're close, if you will. Leading them, showing them some ways because they clearly see something that I can inspire them and influence them on, and then being able to humbly submit myself to people that I can follow, people that I don't mind serving, to people that I don't mind just kind of helping them and just seeing seeing what I can do to serve them. So I think that's really important, having a circle you can follow and a circle that you can lead. I think that's really important.
I agree 100%, my man. Like you said, the circle is key. The circle is key right now for a lot of us. You know, if you're young in high school and college, you really need to think about, even being a grown up, you know, being grown, you need to really think about who you're hanging with on a regular basis in your circle. And you may need to start making changes. You know, you may need to start switching people out. You may need to start cutting people. You may need to start finding a whole new circle, a whole new environment. But whatever you need to do so that you have your solace at the end of the day and you're able to be your best you, that's the best circle that you need to have. A circle that, like you said, either will allow you to lead, or a circle that you can follow, but it's in a positive space.
Yeah, most certainly. I totally agree.
What's next for you? What's next, man? We got about 2 months left, less than 2 months left in 2018. What can people expect from you for the rest of this year going into 2019, or, you know, just next year, period?
So this is the busiest time of the year for me. It's holiday season. You got New Year's coming up. You got Christmas. You got all this galas, all these fun events. So I'm working right now just with my clients, making sure they got what they need. I hate when they contact me at the last minute, because New Year's they always do. And this year I'm taking off. And I'm excited. But I think my next 8 months, or really, I think we got 9 weeks. I was looking at my calendar. We got 8 weeks, 9 weeks. I think 9 weeks before 2019. And so being very intentional about building and carrying out all the goals that I missed this year. I know I went and did my analysis, my 90-day review back in October. What can I wrap up the year with? What can I improve on? What did I not like about the last few months? And just really prepare for the rest of the year. The biggest thing is, man, I want to roll out a huge advertising campaign by 2020. I've been working on that. I'm talking about commercials. I want to do just a lot of fun stuff that captures the essence of my brand, and I want to really put it on a scale that would just, blast the digital marketing scene and just really get people excited about the future company. So kind of doing some more of those things, man, and just kind of reaching a larger market and becoming more serious about the clientele that's out there. There's so much money out there, man. The more I learn about the market, and I'm missing every opportunity. So just learning, man. I'm learning. Just building and learning, investing in the right people, investing in the right equipment. All of those things are important to me. So I'm really excited. And it's so funny, I've been dating and I got this girl, man. She's awesome. And people tend to extend themselves to me. How can I help? What can I do? What can I do? And I'm very, very guarded and protected because I used to do that openly and freely. I would let anybody help me. But now, man, I'm like, nah, I'm good. But this girl, man, we've been dating for a few months now, and she keeps asking me, what can I do to help? And I would joke, and I'm not going to say what I would say, but I would joke with her. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to let you help me with some business development. Let's just see what you can do, man. We sat down. We had I think it was we spent a few hours on some stuff, man. I was blown away. I'm like, yo, you about to take me to a whole nother level.
Most definitely, man. So I'm definitely excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to seeing the things that you're going to bring forth, the different projects, the different advertisements, the things that you're working on. I'm excited. I'm sure your fans are excited. I'm sure your peers are excited. And man, I can definitely relate to you about, a woman, being a great inspiration and a great uplift to your life. My wife, I'll tell you what, bro, without her, I probably wouldn't even be doing this vlog right now. I'm just being honest with you. It's something about, the love that she gives that pushes me to break barriers. So, that's important, man. And I'm glad that you found a young lady who's doing that for you. And I wish you both well.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Let everyone know real quick where they can follow you and where they can get your merch. I'm pretty sure some people want some of them bow ties like the one you got on. That mug is suave, my man. I really like that.
Yeah. Thanks, bro. Yeah, so you can find it on Keef Cravat. That's KeefCravat on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. I think that's all the channels that we're on. Keef Cravat, or you can go online at keefcravat.com. I have an online store that you can visit. And then you can also, if you're in Kansas City, you can stop by the Gown Gallery down in the Crossroads Art District. And I'm working on a couple other stores. I meant to tell you, man, I'm working on a couple other partnerships with some other stores. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, you can find me, keefcravat.com, man.
Okay. And also, what about social media?
You can find me at jordanwilliams.life on Instagram, and then Jordan D. Williams on Facebook, LinkedIn. I think that's it. Yeah, those are only 3 channels I'm on. But yeah, jordanwilliams.life. Follow me. I'm a rising lover for Christ. I'm a disciple. So if you want to be touched by the Lord, you need to follow me. Amen.
Most definitely, bro.
Shout out to City of True Church, Pastor 83 and Lady J. Those are my favorite people in the whole wide world. So yes. Okay. And anyone else you want to shout out? I would shout out my girlfriend, but
yeah, bad. Nah, she might like.
Well, Ashley, I know you're gonna see this one day. I love you.
Most definitely, my man. Hey, Jordan, I want to thank you for being our first guest, Millennial Entrepreneur, on Millennial Entrepreneurs on the Rise. vlog series. I appreciate you, my man, and I plan on working with you in the future.
No, thank you, man. I'm excited. I'm glad that you're doing this. This is going to change so many people's lives. So keep doing your thing, bro.
Most definitely, bro. Everyone, that concludes our first episode of Millennial Entrepreneurs on the Rise. I'm your host, Kendall Myers. Feel free to comment, share, or like.
Millennial Entrepreneurs on the Rise.